journaling brings me so much joy. I've been journaling for pretty much my whole life. I've even authored my own guided journal. I just love journaling. But of course, a question that I get asked a lot is, what am I filling up my journals with? Like, what am I writing in my journal? So in this video, I'm going to give you the 10 ways that I fill up my journals and hopefully inspire you to start your journaling practice. Welcome back. My name is Jenelle, and on this channel, we talk about all things personal growth. So if you are new here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on all this personal transformation and personal growth knowledge. So like I mentioned in this video, I want to share with you my journaling practice, the journaling methods that I use to fill up my journals. So the first one is I use one single journal to just write and rewrite my affirmations. I am a big believer in the power of the spoken word and the written word. And of course, repetition is key in your affirmations, but it's key really in anything you do, whether you're practicing for a sport or learning how to read music or play an instrument, whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life, it really does take repetition. And so in my case, what I do is I use one single journal and I just write my affirmations over and over and over. Like, that is really my backup. When I don't know what else to do with my journal on any given day, I just go in and I write my affirmations and I remind myself that I am smart, I am strong, I am capable, I'm creative, I am talented, I am loved, and I am lovable. Like, I'll just keep writing it over and over. Speaking of the power of the written word, another thing that I use my journals for is to write down my goals. So I know a lot of people start writing goals at the beginning of the year, but I am just like a perpetual goal setter. And so I just write my goals down in my journal. I usually try to start with at least 25. It's something that I've been doing for years, decades really. And I've noticed that when I write down my goals, I usually achieve them. Even if it takes some time, I really do like to write down my goals. I write down my goals and the dates that I want to achieve them by. There's just something about getting it out, putting it on paper, putting it in front of you that kind of brings it to life. It's not just an idea in your head anymore. It's a very somatic process because you're using your brain, your eyes, your hands, your feelings. You're kind of putting your whole self into it, especially if you're writing by hand. You put your whole self into it and it brings something that's not real to life, even if it's just with a pen. There's a lot of research on writing goals and the ability to achieve those goals. You actually increase your ability to achieve those goals by 42% when they are written down. I do use a journal just to write down my goals, things I want to achieve, places I want to go, the type of income I want to have, experiences I want to have, things I want to purchase, or just experience. And so writing down goals is huge for me. All right, so the next thing that I like to write in my journal is every day I like to spend some time in meditation. And that amount of time changes every day. But the overall practice of doing meditation and then coming out of that meditation and kind of just writing right in that moment how I feel, what ideas or thoughts came to me, what revelations came to me during those meditations is something that I do like to write down in my journal. They're usually words of inspiration. It's like my higher self or my inner self or God, like kind of giving me downloads of just motivational stuff, maybe some ideas that I should pivot into. And so I like to just write that down as soon as I come out of my meditations. Then that leads me right into ideas. So I'm always seeking new ideas for YouTube content or for book ideas or blog post ideas. And so I really just keep a list of all of my ideas that come to me, whether it's the idea for a new guided journal or an idea for a piece of content that I want to put out, I always write down all of my ideas. Whether I use them or not doesn't even matter. It's just good to really kind of get them out and get them on paper. I may revisit the idea like a year later or 2 years later or even 6 years later, but just having it written down helps me to capture it so that I can come back to it later if I want to. Okay, so then once I have my goals and my ideas kind of written down, I do like to create a vision board inside of my journal. So I know a lot of people create vision boards on like poster board or cork board, and I do that too. I have a huge vision board that takes up pretty much an entire wall in my home office. However, I also like to have pictures and clip outs inside of my journal. What I love about that is that it is portable. I can take it on the go with me, opposed to the vision board that I have in my home office. What I also love about having my vision board inside of a journal is that it has more privacy. There's not like a lot of people walking in and looking at it. And so I just love that element of privacy when it comes to my vision and my vision boards. So another thing I like to do is to capture my dreams when I wake up in the morning. I am one of those people who dream. I know that not everyone does, but I do. I've been dreaming since as long as I can remember, since I was a little girl. And so in the last year, I've started writing down my dreams as soon as I wake up. Not only is it just really good to start journaling right away and not like immediately waking up and going straight to your phone, but it's also a really great way to enhance your memory. And so I have one journal where I just write down my dreams and that's all that's in there. Yeah, so I have a dream journal. So the next one is something that I think a lot of people is going to love, and that is just writing letters. It's an old, archaic, almost antiquated art form that a lot of people don't do anymore, but it is a great way to release emotional stress, to just kind of self-express, and that is writing letters to people. I never give the letters to anyone. I just write them. Write a letter to a family member or to someone who has hurt me or disappointed me, or maybe it's a thank you letter to someone who I feel really grateful for, who has done something amazing in my life. I just like to write it out. Sometimes I write letters to my future self. Like just writing out letters helps you to alleviate stress. It helps you to practice forgiveness and release, and that's the biggest thing with journaling. It's really a release. It's the reason why a lot of people go to journaling in the first place. So if you are someone who is, maybe just has some built up anxiety or frustration about a thing or a person, write a letter to it. It doesn't even have to be a person. Like you can write a letter to your fears. You can write a letter to something that's frustrating you. You can write a letter to, again, someone who has brought you joy. You can write a letter to someone who is deceased. Just kind of writing that out and getting it out is a great way to journal. And it's like so easy because we've all got something to say on the inside of us. As a matter of fact, the title of my guided journal is I've Got Something to Say, a guided journal for self-expression. This guided journal has over 200 writing prompts to help you really dig deep, find your voice, and speak your truth. I specifically designed this journal so that it didn't have any lines on the pages like most other journals. The pages are just the journal prompt at the top, and then the rest of the page is blank. This is because we all express ourselves in different ways, not just in words, but maybe we want to draw or paste down a picture or write in really big letters or really small letters. However you choose to express yourself and write your answer to the prompt is totally up to you. I've Got Something to Say is available on Amazon, and if you check out the reviews, lots of other people really appreciate the thoroughness of the prompts and how they really help users express themselves and think about things they wouldn't normally think about. And in that journal, I've implemented a little bit of each of these journaling methods that I am sharing with you here in this video. So if you're looking for a way to just have it in a nice compact place where you can start journaling, I will be sure to include the link to my guided journal in the description box below this video. So the next thing that I use my journal for is to write lists. Sometimes it is a to-do list. Sometimes it's just a list of my favorite things, right? My favorite foods. Maybe it's a grocery list, things I have to buy, a list of things that I want to remember. It could be a list of lessons that I've learned, a list of people that have inspired me.
That's a big one for me, just writing down a list of people who has inspired me.
It can be a list of books that I want to read or a list of my favorite movie characters. Or it could just be a list of things that alleviates my stress, a list of things that brings me joy and makes me happy, a list of things that just makes me smile. Just writing down lists is a powerful journaling method that I like to use just for calm and release. So one of my favorite all-time journaling methods that I like to implement is called scripting. And scripting is writing out things that you want in your life, but writing them as if they have already manifested. So, for example, let's say there's a home that you want to purchase in a certain area. Maybe you'll write something like, I am so thankful that today I woke up in my brand new home and it smells amazing. I just looked out my window and I seen the beautiful garden. And today I'm going to spend the day planting new beautiful flowers in that garden. Then I'm going to come inside into my big, beautiful kitchen and I'm going to make myself an amazing lunch. That's kind of like how that would work. You would write the thing that you want as if it has already happened. And as you're writing it, you're using all of your senses. You're talking about the things that you see, the things that you smell while you're living in that manifestation. And you're writing it like a script, as if you, the first person, are living in that manifestation already. And then finally, on that same note, of course, I love to use my journal to practice gratitude. So I do a lot of gratitude journaling. I have a whole video where I talk about how to do gratitude journaling correctly. You can do it as just a list, right? You can do it as just a list of things that you're grateful for, but I like to use a different journaling method where I go into a lot more detail about the thing that I am grateful for. And so I'll be sure to include the link to that video up here, and you can learn more about how I use gratitude journaling. So like I mentioned in this video, I have a guided journal. It's called I've Got Something to Say, a guided journal for self-expression. Inside of that journal, I've implemented prompts for each of the journaling methods that I discussed here in this video. If you would like to start or deepen your journaling practice, be sure to check out that journal. It is available on Amazon. And there's a ton of other free resources in the description of this video. Check out the description of this video to learn more ways that you can easily start your journaling practice. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I love sharing these journaling methods and journaling tips with you all. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to hit the like button and also leave a comment letting me know which of these journaling methods you have tried yourself, which ones are you going to try. And again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.